As more and more of our clients are moving from just straight HRMS for human resources or payroll to more web-based applications such as Sage Employee or Manager self-service applications, data integrity becomes more and more important. So for instance, who an employee reports to determines what access that manager has or what access the employee has as far as maybe timekeeping or data access through those web-based applications. So one of the things we run into is our clients are asking about how to verify data integrity. Now you can run Crystal reports, secure query, canned reports, and maybe sort through and figure out how to break that out and figure out if you have any errors. But one of the things our clients that utilize HR Actions have available is the HR Analytics module. Now, HR Analytics is an add-on module that you can pay for, and it's got enhanced report writing capabilities, but it does come with some standard HR Actions reports. And one of those is in this HR Admin group and data integrity. And you can see here you've got a bunch of reports, and if you're an HR Actions client, I recommend running through those and just verifying some information. But what we want to look at here is this invalid manager list. And if I click on that, it's going to open up this report, and it's going to tell us if we have any issues with people that report to their managers. And I'm going to filter here just for ease of use. I'm going to filter on my U.S. employer, apply that filter, and then look at these. So I can see here that Shannon Barnes, William Cullen, and Maximilian Farber all report to Hugh Allen, and we've got a missing manager email. So we'll correct that in Hugh's record. Mick Mars has an inactive manager, Duke Darkwolf, who Duke's probably terminated or moved on anyway. And then Mary Stewart. Mary Stewart's missing, but Mary's our president, so that makes sense. Mary doesn't report to anybody. So we need to correct these. And then what we'll do is we'll come back into HRMS, go to, for instance, Hugh Allen's record, and add an employee here or an email here. All right, apply that. And then once that applies, we will also go back to Mick Mars and verify who Mick reports to. And we looked into that, and indeed Duke Darkwolf has been terminated, and Mick now reports to Veronica Bell. So we'll apply that. And again, when it asks you if you want to create job history, if we're just correcting data, we'll say no. If we're actually making an update that we missed before, we'll change the reason code and the effective date and all of that. And then typically we will create a job history. I'm going to say no here. So we've corrected our data. In this data set, we only had three or four issues. So we come back here, and then we can refresh this data. And we're good. So Mary Stewart, again, is the president, doesn't report to anybody, so we're all set here. Now, what if we have a situation where Duke Darkwolf didn't terminate and only had one employee reporting to him, but Duke had 20 people reporting to him? What do we do in that situation? Now, you can come into these records and go through every single employee that reported to Duke and make these changes manually. It's time consuming and a process, but a lot of clients do that. And if you've got 3 or 4, that's not a huge deal, but if you've got 20, that'll take some time. Not a huge issue, but again, it takes some time. You can use the mass update function. So we could say, hey, we're going to change the employee personnel record. We're going to change the supervisor ID, the supervisor company, the supervisor email. Technically, you can run the import calculations, and that'll synchronize everything so that everything updates correctly. I mean, the critical pieces are the supervisor ID and the supervisor company to make sure we've got them in the same thing here. Again, mass updates are very helpful. You can change a lot of data in an instant. Also dangerous. We always recommend backing up your data before you do it. And if you're not sure, reach out to SWK support, and we'll be glad to help you walk through that. The other thing you can do, and again, this is for our clients with HR Actions, is HR Actions comes with a form or the ability to use this functionality. If we look at self-service, and I'm going to do one in a straight situation here, but if we were looking at, say, Hugh Allen was promoted or Hugh Allen resigned, whatever it might be, we can pull up a form for Hugh Allen, and this has the functionality that we're talking about to basically mass update directly. And it's a reassigned direct reports to a new supervisor. And what that does is it says down here, here are the people that report to Hugh. These are people we were just looking at. So we've got these people reporting to Hugh Allen that we want to move. So over here we can say the new value. So everybody's going to move to, say, Veronica Bell. Then when we do that, reassigned manager becomes Veronica Bell. We can default this to whatever reason makes sense to your organization. I've got a change of supervisor situation here. But basically, if I initiate this action and we process it and push the data back to HRMS via HR actions, it's going to change everybody's supervisor in HRMS at one time. Create the job history record with a reassignment reason as of the effective date of the form up here, whatever we put in here. So you can see the benefit here if you've got 20 to 30 people reporting to somebody, how much easier that would be. And think about using this functionality, not simply in this form where maybe HR does it, but in a promotion form where we're promoting a supervisor, in a termination form where we're terminating somebody that has people reporting to them. So you have that ability to do, basically, and not to be redundant in a term, the mass update of supervisor changes via, a single form. So it's all done at once and everything's updated, job history and everything, by pushing a button. And again, let us know, because these are important, tied to security and things like that. If you have any questions at all about any of the options, doing them manually, doing them via mass update, or via HR actions if you're an HR actions client, or if you're possibly interested in HR actions, let us know. We'll be glad to assist in any way.